Who's gonna catch more fish? You trying to grab them with your hands, or your buddy sitting in the chair drinking a few cold ones and using a fishing rod? I think your buddy's gonna catch more fish. Essentially, this is what's happening if you don't have a CRM or you have a poorly set up CRM. You're not gonna be effective, and the fish are all gonna swim by. You're not gonna get leads and the jobs that you deserve. So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how to set up a CRM plus the processes around like a sales CRM. This is an area where I think there's a lot of confusion and people just aren't sure of like how to utilize the proper sales channel so that all these leads that potentially are coming into your business, you're not wasting them with low closing ratios and, poor follow-up and whatever else when you get busy. So, I'll be sharing with you a number of different things, how to set up your CRM. Plus, I'm going to be in this video sharing with you my top picks for the best CRMs that I've found in my experience, as well as I'm going to do a tutorial, like a walkthrough behind the scenes, exactly how we set up the top CRM that I choose for our clients to make sure that their sales process is in a really good place and they've got their technology working for them. So stay tuned. First one we're going to talk about is you've got to get all your contacts into the CRM. That's the first thing. QuickBooks, if you've got any sort of lists anywhere, if you've got estimating software, any other type of software where you've got a list of like past clients that you worked with, could even be your phone in your phone or your emails. You want to get all of those contacts and get them into your CRM system. Super important. If you have a CRM already and you don't have those contacts in your other places, there's really easy ways to like integrate them and move them from one place to the other. Essentially, if you don't have a direct integration to move them from one place to the other, then you want to export a list of the contacts and then import them into your CRM software. And just to set the record straight, what I'm talking about in this video is a sales CRM, not necessarily your project management software. So that can be utilized as a CRM per se, but what I'm talking about is like a sales and marketing CRM, which should be separate from your field management software, because the field management software, it drops the ball and just falls short because it's not meant to facilitate lead generation and marketing and a really good sales process. It's more like once you already have that lead and you provide an estimate, that's when the project management software can take over. Before that, CRM all the way. Still with me here? So with the contacts, you import them. You want to make sure you're tagging them. So all contacts should be having some sort of tags, and you'll utilize tags later on in the other setup processes that I mentioned for automations, for sending out targeted marketing. There's a number of different things where you can tag different contacts in your CRM system. At the very least, it should be like clients. So these would be clients, past clients, and leads. If they're a lead, you tag them as a lead. If they're maybe not like a lead per se, but they are part of your referral network or your power network, as I call it, you can tag them. You can tag them as, architects or other business owners, whatever. There's different tags so that you can then segregate your different contacts to send them targeted emails, marketing, whatever you need to do. There's also a whole bunch of like automations you can put around this. We're going to get to workflows and automations later in the video. Number two, coming at you rapid fire here is pipelines. Once you got your contacts in your CRM system, you're going to set up a pipeline. Pipeline, essentially what the name suggests is you've got leads that come into your pipeline and they flow through your pipeline, and ideally you close them and they become a client on the other side of your pipeline. So the pipeline is gonna have different stages. The first stage is going to be like new lead whenever like someone contacts you, essentially. It could be they filled out a form on your website, they gave you a phone call, maybe they were a referral that came through someone else or an email. However they come to you, they need to go into your sales pipeline and they'll start off as a new lead. Then you'll have different stages. You have like unable to contact. So you know what happens? Sometimes people reach out to you and for whatever reason you just can't get a hold of them. Then they get to the they can't contact stage. If you contacted them, they go to the contact stage. Then from there, you're going to set up, maybe they're unqualified. So they could be like an unqualified stage. If they are qualified and you set up typically like a little meet and greet, maybe a quick Zoom meeting, or you give them a phone call as the owner if you've got like an admin person that's handling the leads up front. So whatever they move through the stages of your pipeline until you get to like an estimate. So there'll be an estimating, then there's a proposal. You present the proposal to the potential client. They will give you a yes, Hopefully, hopefully not a no, but either way, if it's a yes, then they move to the last stage of your pipeline, which is a won project. If you won the project, congratulations, you're the best. Way to go. That's what you want everyone to follow. If they lost, then you put it, in a loss stage. And then based on the stage in your pipeline, you can set up automations around this. So this is the beauty, the amazement, the magic behind the secret sauce of CRM systems and why it's so important because if you're trying to do this all just from your head, or you've got multiple people handling clients and you've got spreadsheets, or like, oh, I gotta call this guy or phone up that guy, or things get slow, and then it's like, it's just it gets all over the place. A CRM system just organize everything and it can fire off a lot of automations that will take care of a lot of the kind of back end administrative stuff by itself. So nobody has to really worry about it because the system is just running. And that's the type of system that I like. You know what I mean? All about systems. So those are that's your pipeline stages. And then based on the different stages, there'll be, automation emails. There could be notifications. There could be scheduling links that get sent out. There could be lead scoring if you want to like score the different leads, of how qualified they are, notifications for when to follow up, all that kind of stuff can all be handled there. And we'll get to that in a second. As well with the pipelines, so you're going to have your sales pipeline. That's going to be like your main pipeline that you're going to check quite often. Other pipelines, you can have multiple different pipelines. So another other good pipelines to set up is referrals and reviews. And later in this video, I'm going to be going through like behind the scenes of how we set up our CRMs, and I'll show you like a lot of these different components and how they interact. But having a referrals pipeline, so any referrals that come through from clients, your power network, connections, and different things like that. It's good to have that pipeline because referrals are so important. They're so strong for your business that you want to have a pipeline that if you get referred someone, you need to know like where are they? Did we contact them? Are we doing a proposal? They'll still go into your main sales pipeline, but you want to make sure you're not dropping the ball on referrals for one, because there's such a strong lead. For two is you don't want to have a bad face about you when your client refers someone and then like you don't reach it, like those should be high priority. You don't reach out to them or they don't have a great experience, you're not like, on the ball with them. So that's why a referral pipeline is really important. And then a reviews pipeline. So you've completed a project for a client and you've asked them, hey, do you mind writing a review for me? I'd love to get, your input and feedback. You can have a pipeline for reviews because as you know, with clients, you finish a job, you ask for a review, you send them an email, and then, you don't hear from them, they don't do the review, and it's like, I don't want to bother them or whatever, and it just kind of gets dropped, and you're missing out on a lot of really strong reviews, and this is going to become more and more important into the future, and is already like super critical. Is like, how many reviews do you have on Google? How many reviews do you have on Facebook, on Yelp, or wherever, right? So it's so important that you're not letting these reviews just lay by the wayside. So that's why you want a reviews pipeline to make sure you're following up and your percentages. That's another thing about pipelines is once you have this set up now, and we'll be getting to statistics and analytics later and like what you need to be looking for. But with the pipelines, now like, okay, we got 100 leads this last 2 months or 3 months. This is how many we were able to contact. This is how many got to an actual proposal. This is how many were unqualified. So it gives you all this data plus sales channels where they're coming from. So you can figure out, our best leads are from this channel or that channel. It's just like there's so much good information that can happen when you have all this information in a CRM. So making sense here, not just rambling on. Pay attention. This is important. This is like the throttle of your business, this CRM. Like if you can get this down pat, you can throttle up the business and the bike will go, you'll fly, take that jump, do some backflips, whatever, floats your boat. If you don't have a CRM system and you don't have that throttle available, you're just going to be slugging it out old fashioned way. So don't be that person. Number 4, moving on here, not wasting any time. We're actually on number 3, jumping ahead here. So number 3 is communication. A CRM is not just for keeping track of data and people. It's about communicating as well. And communication is such an important part of life. Never mind business and sales, but communication, a good CRM system will have like a one feed chat channel where you can see texts that went out, you can see emails, you can see, social, if you texted them on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. It should bring that all into one place. You probably in this boat where it's like you're on your phone someone messaged you on LinkedIn, then someone else reached out through email, and it's like, okay, this is like, John Smith. I've got to follow up with him. Where, what I think I sent him an email, but we texted as well, and you're like jumping all over the place. A CRM will bring that all into one place. So it's like, here's the email, here's the text, here's that message on Facebook that was sent. LinkedIn doesn't work well with CRM, so you don't get LinkedIn chat in there, but Facebook and Instagram does work well. Unless you know a different one, then let me know, and maybe we can get LinkedIn in the same place as well. So, anyways, so that's communication, email, social, text. You can also do snippets. So snippets are just like templated text. This is great for, like, let's say you have a new client starting and you want to send them a welcome email. Like, you can automate that, but you can also have snippets. One way I use this personally is I'll send out an email to clients every week on like what they need to get done that week and any updates of like services that we're doing, or what have you. Plus, it's got links to the dashboard and everything else. So I've got a snippet and I just upload that snippet. It's got their name in it already. It's got all their information, their link to their dashboard, everything specific to that person, that specific client, without me having to like actually manually put any of that in. And then I just fill in like the couple of information that I need to put in that changes every week. And then I fire it off. It takes like no time. So snippets are really great. You can use them for texts, any kind of like text or sort of messaging. And then the communication, there's templates and automations that you can like plug in here. And we'll get to that in a minute. So making sense. As you can see, having a good CRM in place, like, it takes care of so much of this marketing and sales stuff. And it's every piece, every like point that I'm making here, every setup point is going to get you more leads, and it's going to get those leads to close at a higher ratio. So if you're closing at 20, 30%, we can get that to 35, 40%. Each one of these is going to ratchet it up till you got like a really good closing ratio. And it's going to help build your brand as well, because now it's like, wow, this person's so professional. They sent me an email. They've got this information. They're messaging me like quick on all these different channels. Like, it really elevates your business to another level and puts you ahead of like pretty much every other competitor out there. So number 4 coming up here, like I said, I'll be sharing with you like specific CRMs. I just want to give you the knowledge part first, and I'll be sharing specific CRMs, and then my number 1 top pick, and do like a quick deep dive tutorial into like actually what it looks like. It's going to be exciting. So number 4 is workflows, aka automations. And this is great for nurturing. You can send out email sequence when someone signs up to your newsletter. When you get a new lead come in, thanks for reaching out to us. Here's some more information. You can give them some educational stuff, like if you're thinking of starting to get a home, or if you need this for, whatever, you can like provide information. The more like information and professional service, like help that you can give them, the easier it's going to be for them to reply to you. The higher they're going to elevate your brand and the value of your services as well. So super important. Other like good automations is the new clients, like I mentioned, new employees as well. You can have employees in your CRM and use it for automation, that when you have a new employee, again, it sends out like an automated email. Welcome to the team. Here's the employee handbook. Here's some things that you need to know. It saves you so much time. It's so awesome when you get it working for you. Just trust you with that. Plus like notifications and reminders. So let's say you talk to someone, they were unqualified, or maybe it's like, oh, we're just looking around for pricing. So you give them sort of a ballpark estimate. We are, have to go get financing and figure out exactly what we want and all this stuff. So it's like, okay, great. How about I follow up with you later, in a month or two, or what have you. You can then put that in your pipeline to lost because, it wasn't a good fit at this point. You're not going to go through all the effort of providing an estimate on something that's maybe for them. Automated emails, that automation workflow can be set up that they get, emails every so often, like, hey, still considering your project, or here's like things you should know about planning a project. And then you get a notification, in a month from now, hey, follow up with such and such, so that, and see where the project's at. That way you've got that touch point. You're not forgetting about it, even when you get busy. This doesn't even have to be you. This could be a salesperson or your admin person. Just follow up and like, hey, we talked a month ago. How's, you were looking at getting financing. Again, everybody in your team can see the conversations. They can see what stage the person's at in the pipeline. Everything is in one place. Life is awesome. So that's workflows. Number 5, talk about calendar bookings. And I'm giving you like all the big stuff and how it works together. If you need more help with like specifically you want someone to like set this stuff up for you or how to set this up, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about you if you're struggling with something or if I've explained something and you're not sure about it. Put a comment below. I will reply. I'd love to hear from you. Number 5 is calendar bookings. This one saves me so much time on a almost daily basis. Someone reaches out to you, you know, let's meet or let's talk or whatever. Great. Here's my booking link. Go book it in. It syncs up with your Google Calendar, iCalendar, or what have you. And it's really easy for them to pick a time and you can set your schedule and batch like meetings together, right? So for me, I like to do meetings on Thursdays and Fridays. I like to have, Monday to have like a clear day to get stuff done and get spun up for the week. Tuesday and Wednesday are more like deep dive working days for me. And then I like to batch like a lot of my meetings and stuff for Thursday and Friday. I have meetings other days of the week, but as far as like my booking links go, that's how you can start to batch things and put them together really easily and start to be a lot more like cognizant or organized with your time and when you're meeting people. Of course, you can, do whatever you want. Maybe you just want to do like at the end of the day is when you want to do site walkthroughs with clients, or maybe early in the morning. I mean, they're probably not going to want to meet you right in the morning to do a home walkthrough. But anyways, you can be like intentional with your scheduling. The different types of meetings could be like if you're going for a site visit, home walkthrough with someone. If it's like a Zoom meeting, you can set up that. If it's maybe a coffee for like networking, so you can have different schedules that you send to different people depending on the type of meeting that you're going to have. Saves you a ton of time, gets rid of all this back and forth, like, "Yeah, how's Tuesday at 4 o'clock? Oh, that's really busy. Wednesday morning would be better. How's Wednesday at 10 AM? Well, no, I've got, my kid's soccer game or whatever. I've got to go for whatever." So it saves you a bunch of time there, makes things easy. Plus, again, it just makes you look professional when you have these assets in place because it's like, wow, this guy's got his stuff together. They've got their tech figured out. I can just like people love it. Like I absolutely love it when someone sends me their booking link and I don't have to even if I have to go find my link and send it to them, it's like I don't even have to do that. I just have to da da da. There we go. Perfect, right? So good stuff. If you've enjoyed something, there's got to be at least one thing on this video so far. Give the video a thumbs up. Do me a favor. Love you for it. All right. So next thing is your marketing. And marketing, you've probably been frustrated with it and you probably do it inconsistently. Just my guess. If you're still handling yourself, you got someone else handling for you, congratulations, you're lucky. But even if you do have someone else doing this for you, it'll make the marketing so much easier. A good CRM system will be able to push marketing out to all your different social channels. So you make a nice post, you have a picture on there of one of your sites and like talking about whatever. You shouldn't have to go to Instagram and post, Facebook post, LinkedIn and post, TikTok and post, Twitter, X, whatever other social media things will be out by the time, you're watching this. It should just push it out to all of them. So again, like that right there, you create one post, it goes to all of them. You save yourself, I don't know, it's like a quarter of the time probably at least. Or you can even add more social channels that you're not currently on, reach a wider audience and spend no more time on the task. So super awesome. Plus you can schedule, your marketing going out. Another really missed opportunity by a lot of contractors is your email marketing. If you're not doing email marketing, get a CRM, start doing email marketing. It's so easy. And this is what nurtures so many clients because you're doing all this work, either in energy or money spent for, ads or whatever, to get a lead to come in. And then if you don't have a good nurture sequence, because there's probably like, I'd say with leads, like 20, it's going to depend on your channels. Let's say 20 to 30% of leads are like actively like, yes, I want to do a project within the next couple of months or this year. Probably about 70% of leads are going to be like, we're not quite sure how much we want to spend. We're not quite sure what we want to do the job. We're not quite sure what the job is, so you're going to have this group of people that are really not ready and maybe it'll turn into sales someday. Maybe it won't. But if you have the right nurture sequence, you're hitting them with touch points, you're building this value, this trust with them so that when they are ready, you'll be the first person they contact and they will already know you and know your process and know like the sale will just be like so much easier because you've nurtured them through emails and stuff like that. I know with a lot of businesses as well, like you probably offer a few different services, even if you have like a core thing that you do. And having like a newsletter and having people in a nurture sequence, it kind of lets them know about all your services that you do so that they may not be like they may not realize that you do certain things and that they could have been a good client for you just because you didn't have some good email nurturing sequences set up. So email super important. Beyond that, you can set up forms. So this could be a form on your website. You could have a landing page, so giving away some sort of free thing on a landing page. Another great marketing asset that you can build inside of CRM. And these are really great for providing value and helping clients, again, be warmer. If you're doing your nurturing and your marketing in the right way, when you get onto a sales call with someone, they're already like 50% sold, right? Because they already know you, they know your brand, they know your content. They've probably got some maybe free marketing stuff of how to like think about the project or design or 10 things to know about this or 10 mistakes to avoid or whatever, right? So they're already really warm and they already understand you, your value, your company. It's not just like they searched you on Google and now you're competing against like 10 other contractors that they're going to possibly reach out to. So the CRM will help with that and really help you set yourself apart. Making sense so far? All right, we're getting to the good stuff. I've got one last thing as far as like setting up your CRM and what your CRM can do for you, and that is statistics. After that, I'm going to give you my top picks as well as giving you like an in-depth behind the scenes tutorial of like different aspects of top ranked CRM. So number 7. All right, we're starting number 7, statistics. This one will be quick. So key statistics is, like I mentioned before, in your pipeline, where are people dropping off in your pipeline and what is your closing ratio? And when you notice this, you can start to then gauge with like, are these leads warm? Are we not being able to contact them? What channels are the best leads coming from? Like maybe let's say you've got Google ads, you got Facebook ads, very common. You're spending $1,000 on each. Facebook gets you 20 leads, Google gets you 10 leads. From just that, you might be like, well, Facebook gets me more leads, so I should put more money into Facebook because I'm getting more leads. Well, if through your CRM process, you realize that, well, the Google leads were closing at 40%, the Facebook leads were closing at 10%, then it's like, well, that flips the script, right? Now it's like we should invest more in Google instead of Facebook, right? So it gives you that ability to make informed decisions about your marketing and your sales. Other place for statistics is, like I mentioned, your ad spend. It should have statistics for that, as well as like where your leads are all coming from. And then if it's going up or down, you can get statistics for open rates on emails. There's all this like there's just a lot of it. And a good CRM you'll be able to see like all the different statistics that you can get from there and make really great decisions on that. Making sense? All right, here we go. So the top 3 CRMs that I suggest for construction contractors, I'm going to start with probably the most well-known and also free one, which is a good one to start if you're kind of getting started and you don't want to spend any money on it. Although I would suggest spend the money. It's going to be worth so much more than what you pay for it to have a good CRM in place. But HubSpot is the first one. HubSpot, like I said, they have a free option. After the free option, like the next options in the tiers of their subscriptions get really pricey. It's more geared towards like larger businesses, but they have a free option that has a lot of it's a really good system for the beginning just to have your leads in there and just start to utilize some pipelines and a CRM system. So that's the one I suggest if you just want a free option and something just to kind of like hold your leads and do some of the stuff I mentioned. HubSpot can do everything I mentioned earlier, but there's differences between the free and the paid, obviously. The next one is going to be the Rapid Lead CRM. And this is our own at Rapid Result Creators. We've utilized a CRM platform. We put our own name on it and we have created it, structured it specifically for general contractors, home builders, remodelers. We've set up the automations, we've set up the pipelines. So it's like a plug and play done for you. What I mentioned before, like these calendars, the communication channels, the pipelines, it's already all set up for you and ready to go. And I'm going to be I'm going to be showing you with a screen share, like exactly how we set that up and what it looks like in just a minute or so. And then the last one I'm going to mention is Pipedrive. Pipedrive is a good option. I have not personally used Pipedrive, but I've heard it works well. I've done a demo on it. It seems to have everything you need. And I know a lot of contractors that do it. So those are sort of the three that I would suggest taking a look at. With any kind of new software, what I suggest is get a demo of each one, or sometimes we've got like a free trial. The Rapid Lead, you can get a free trial to test it out if you like. So test them out, see if they do the top things that you're looking for, which ones have worked the best for you, and then start on like a monthly subscription plan. Don't go for the year annual plan right away unless you like 100% know you're going to use it for a long time. Start on a monthly plan for like a month or two so you can dive into it, you can get used to it, you can figure out like, is this working for me or is not? Or maybe I should have chose that other one. Start on the monthly plan, and then after a few months, if it's like jiving and it's working and you're happy with it, then get, upgrade to the annual plan, save the 10, 20% or whatever discount that they usually give you. So make it sense. Let's jump into the tutorial right now. All right, so we are in the dashboard here. This is the Rapid Lead CRM that we offer and utilize with our clients. I'm going to be running through you some of the things I mentioned as far as the setup, but like what that looks like and how it works. And so this is your dashboard. This is where you would normally start. This is, just an empty account, so there's nothing here, but it would tell you your conversion ratios as well as, the money that's been from each opportunity slash lead, the values, their statuses. This would be like your pipeline. So it would tell you like in the pipeline, what percentage of people at the beginning would be normally like 100%. And then, it would filter down to like your actual one closing ratio. And then there's like task and whatever else. This is your dashboard, gives you all the information. This is all, customizable. You can put different widgets in here. Conversations. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where you can have all your conversations in one place. You'd have all the different people you've had conversations with. This would be integrated with like a Gmail account or your email account, so that even if you're in Gmail and you're sending information back and forth to clients, it'll pull that into the CRM so that the CRM then sees that. Same with like Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you're like messaging back and forth in Messenger, it'll pull that into the CRM so that you can see that conversation in the CRM as well. You've got your calendars. So you would have your calendar integrated here, and you'd have different calendars that you can set up. You can set up your like availability time so that it doesn't book, meetings when you don't want to be available for meetings. We've got a whole bunch of just like standard ones here, but connection calls, you've got like, you'd have your new lead calls and all that kind of stuff. So you can set up all your calendars, contacts. Woohoo, there I am, right? So in your contacts, it would have all the different contact information. This is in the middle here where you would see all the conversations for this specific client. So if there's everything was integrated properly, how we have it set up, then you would see emails there, you'd see text messages, you would see any messaging through Facebook or Instagram. And then you've got like all your different information here. You've got different tags you can tag, with all of these different tags for keeping track of like specific identifiers. Then we've got our opportunities, which is AKA our pipelines. So this is how we would set up a pipeline. You got your, new lead inquiry, unable to contact, no show to like a sales call or a site visit, things like that. And then we've got like a specific lead generation pipeline. So this is for more like new leads that came through a funnel where they haven't really like contacted you, but they downloaded something or they did some sort of activity like on your website or whatever. They would then go into lead gen pipeline. We've got a referral, like I mentioned, review request. I've got a few that are set up still like for my, Rapid Result creators. So you wouldn't have all of those, but sky's the limit. You can create as many as you want. There's a payments spot where you can like get payments. So if let's say you offered like a home consultation or maybe like some sort of like consultation, like let's say you had like a design, if you have like a design build company and you offer like a design consultation, maybe that's like the first part of your sales pipeline is like you want to book them for in-home design consultation with them, and maybe you charge like $500 for that or whatever. So you could have that all set up so that they do payments. It's all automatic and works out. They can use their credit card, Apple Pay, whatever, and you can go through all that. You can have contracts in here. So very cool feature. Again, if you've got those, like your field management software will take care of like the estimating and like the larger project portions, but if you have any kind of like maintenance type services or consultation type services, you can plug that in here. You can use this for contracts. And the cool thing about this is with that sales pipeline that I mentioned, if you move them like into, let's say where you move them into home or design consultation, you can automatically fire off a contract that says like what services they'll get, they agree to the terms, and then, make payment, and they can all be automated, so nobody has to, like, touch it. You literally move a card from one place to the other, and the client will get an email, they'll get a payment link, they'll get a contract that they can digitally sign, like, it'll notify you once it's signed, like, it's a really awesome setup. Marketing, like I mentioned before, you've got all these different social channels you can connect with the marketing. You won't see what it looks like right now because I haven't connected anything, but essentially you can set up one piece of marketing so you can put like a picture or a video, put some text, it's got like hashtag lists so you can just like click a button and it'll load up all your different hashtags that you want to use for every post, save you a ton of time, and then just push it out to whatever social channels you want. You can do all of them or some of them, with lots of options there. Email, you're gonna have campaigns, you're gonna have templates. So again, for us, when we get you set up on the software, you'll have like 12 months of templated campaigns that you can push out to your audience, every month already done for you. You just customize it a bit for your audience and it'll all get you can send a full year of campaigns and emails are done for you just when you sign up for the software. Snippets, as I mentioned, there's a bunch of other stuff here which you may or may not use. There's a rabbit hole as far as like the capabilities of the software. I'm just letting you know about some of the top ones that would be most relevant. But there's a bunch of stuff there. Automation, like I mentioned, got all these different lead workflows and client workflows, calendar bookings, referrals, social interaction. So if someone messages you on Instagram, you can set up an automation so that some sort of action happens or you can respond to them. There is AI capabilities in the software as well where you can do like text callback. So if someone calls you and no one's there to answer, it'll text them like, "Hey, sorry we missed you on your call. Is there anything I can help you with?" And you can literally have an AI take over and you can train it on other conversations that you've had with clients or whatever. It doesn't have to be an AI either. You can just have like standard kind of, hey, we'll reply to you during normal business hours. For now, please, do this or what have you. A whole bunch of stuff that you can do with workflows and automations. And again, depending on how much service you want, we can set this all up for you. We can get your automations done for you and have everything just like it's exciting. To tell you the truth, when the day and night compared to, like, probably what you're using or if you're not using a proper CRM to, like, what can actually this one can do. This is a bunch of our stuff, so we got a whole bunch of funnels here, but you could essentially you can have your website on here, you'll probably want your own web developer for it, but you can put funnels, you can do some webinars if you want to do, like, special events and invite a bunch of people to it. But you can have funnels like if you want to give away something cool. And there's a bunch of other stuff here, which I'm not going to get into, but you've also got a reputation manager. So it'll show you like reviews you got on Google or Facebook and like how many average stars you got. If you get bad ones, you can set up automations to notify you and make sure you reach out to people. And that's why you have that review pipeline I mentioned, because if there's bad ones, you can then see that in the pipeline and respond to those and make sure that you're getting those, taken care of, whatever you need to do to make sure that they can change that to, 5-star review. So that's an overview of the software. If you want to learn more about this, then check out the links in the description of this video. There'll be links on how to get signed up for this or get on a call and we can walk you through more of this, give you a bit of a demo. But this is a game changer. It's so important to have software like this for your business. You're wasting a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of leads if you don't have something like this set up. So go get signed up for it today. Go get it checked out. As always, we got lots of other videos here for you. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.